Yes, people. Welcome to the Monday Night Madness show. And it's going to be another crazy show tonight. I guarantee you that, people. We've got some killers in the building today. Man like Tony Claude, my co-host. I know he's going to be on fire today. Man like Craig in the building. I'm hearing Craig's got a new channel and all that, Tony, and that as well. So we're gonna have to promote.
He hasn't told me.
Craig,
He hasn't told me.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm hearing rumors.
rumors, and we got man.
I'm hearing the rumors are swirling.
Definitely, and man like Dr. Seymour in the building, man. I call him Dr. S. So if you're confused, it's Dr. Seymour.
Dr. Seymour.
Building people, but you know what? Before we start the show, and we get into all the nitty gritties, it's always good to welcome everyone into the show instead of just going into talking football. It's nice to know how you're feeling and all that kind of stuff, because men, we should talk more often. So I'll start around the panel. So Tony, how you doing, man? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, see, man, I'm good. I mean, it's just nice to come, amongst his brothers. Yeah, I mean, among the brethren down here, seeing Craig alive and okay, healthy, seeing Dr. Seymour, my friend. I do shows with him, so he's my brother. So I mean, just seeing all you guys, and of course seeing you, my brother, Bant. It's good to see you that you're okay. It's all good. Arsenal won this weekend, and it just seemed to just freed up the mind a little bit. I mean, the mentals, the vitals, everything is okay. I'm doing good. I'm happy. Every single weekend that we win and get 3 points on that table, it's another weekend of freedom. It's another weekend of good thinking. It's another weekend of wellness, and knowing that we just have 13 more games to just go through and win the league. So it is what it is. And it's been nice to hear from you guys today, mostly from the panelists here today, and of course you too, Waffle Don. Even if you'll be hosting today, it doesn't it doesn't mean that you won't have your total input. I want to hear you put your neck on the line, my brother, today, bro. Even if you'll be hosting today, so it's what it is. Thank you, everyone who is down there on my channel. Please smash up the likes. Subscribe to each and every one of the people you see down here. Craig, Dr. Seymour. I call Dr. Seymour the resident proctologist. People, you need to get the dictionary and check that out. I'm hearing that my brother, Craig, I'm hearing some rumors, about the channel, this is that. But it is what it is. This is the progress we want. I've been working with Craig now for how many years now? Of course, our show hasn't been going quite well, but I hope to start something new and something different. And he will know by this week. So, people, smash the like button.
100%. Craig, what you say, man? How's your day going, man?
The day was good, man. I went to the gym today, just lift some weights, came home, just chilled, got ready for this show. It was a good weekend for Arsenal. We won. It was a bit of a down yesterday when City scored the winner, but it is what it is, isn't it? Can't always, what I mean? But other from that, I'm good, man. Good to be on the show again.
100%. What about you, Dr. S? How you doing, my brother?
Doing grand. Always a pleasure to share the screen with you, gentlemen. And was almost a perfect weekend, at least from a football perspective. But we still got a bit of a cushion. But I'm sure we're going to be talking a little bit more about that today. So so bless up to you and bless up to everyone in the chat, man. Legends.
Big up. So that's the intros out the way. So I think big up to the chat first, the foremost. But we're going to get into obviously the Arsenal versus Sunderland game at the weekend. Do you know what? I'm going to start with Dr. Seymour today, because I want to hear your thoughts on the game first, and then we can go around the panel, and then we can divulge into the game more. But yeah, let's start with Dr. Seymour first. What do you think of the game on Saturday? Your thoughts?
Good result overall. I mean, I think something that I have lamented in the past is that oftentimes our matches this season have been a tale of two different halves, where the first half we are still a little bit sluggish to get out of the gate. We're not really asking too many questions of our opponents, not until like the 30th or 40th minute, or sometimes not even until the second half for that matter. But at the end of the day, the 3 points is what matters most. And I mean, like, I think the thing that I really want to see now at this stage, something that I've been saying for time as well, build a run of consistent games, build a run of consistent performances. I want to see Gyökeres starting every match. I ultimately want to see him on the scorecard every match. I've always been firmly saying that that if we get our striker absolutely banging goals, it's gonna be smooth sailing. So I still think that again, like we haven't really hit fourth cylinder, or fourth gear rather, let alone even third gear in this season. And I know that this team has it in their locker. I'm not sure if Arteta is waiting for that moment to kick it up a notch, but I just wish that we were putting games to bed a little bit earlier in the game. I wish that we weren't allowing the opposition to have the belief that they can get something out of it. So just a little bit more ruthless, the ruthless records, easy settings, that's kind of what I'm looking for, at least like from now up until the end of the season. We're in a very good position. I'm still holding firm to my beliefs as far as how this season is going to end, and I'm hoping that I'm being proven wrong. But again, I need to see a little bit more consistency over a run of games, and also when's our first Champions League tie? Is that not until March, or is that even a little bit after that, like in April? I don't know. I can't recall, but
I think it's March, but we can check it out. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so so overall, so the next few games that we have, we should be putting teams to bed. But to that end, all these matches that we play, they should be a domino effect to the larger games that we have, not only like in the league tie, but also in the Champions League. There's no excuses. Everyone in the league is underperforming. Even the Champions League, for that matter, teams are underperforming there. There's maybe 2 or 3 tops that we can think of that are that are going to be like the real tests. But there has to be silverware at the end of the season, and if there's not, there's going to be a real reckoning for sure.
Abs, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, people. Yeah, part of this show is because this is a panel show. Yeah, of course we respect each other on this show. But part of this show is also to counter some certain statements that some of the panelists make. So I'm just going to counter, maybe not counter, but just spark a little bit of an argument down here with what Dr. Seymour said in his opening statement. Let's see, Dr. Seymour, you made mention of Arsenal it's a game of two halves. I completely get that. These things happen in football, mostly in the Premiership. Yeah. But you also made mention of Arsenal, trying to kill these teams early. See, Dr. Seymour, none of these games are easy games. These are the things that you should be able to really, really, really put a keen understanding on. They're not easy games. And when these teams are playing, mostly mid-table teams, when they're playing against top opposition, top 4 oppositions, they come in manifold ways, in different kind of ways. They calculate tactics. They calculate different permutations through which they could halt mostly Arsenal's attacks, our wide players, whether it's through the middle, whether it's through the wide players, cutting them off and cutting off supply down to our targets. So it's very, very hard to just actually break down this team. And one thing I've always been saying, Arsenal have won 4 games. at a trot since when we played, since when we lost to Manchester United. One thing I've seen is that Mikel Arteta, for some time this season, he literally has to break down this team. It has to settle down, in a way, and kind of like just break them down. It's not something you just go, all of a sudden and just, in a fit of rush and just figure these teams out. You need to figure out how they play. You need to break them down and cook them, really cook them, and then break them down when you've finally, understood how to get the advantage over them. And that's why most of the time in the first half, I've seen in a couple of games this season, Arsenal have already worked out what they're going to do in the first half. And then in the second half, they come out swinging and typically find out how these teams usually would set up against us and find countermeasures on how to make them pay. And that's what happened against Sunderland. Finding a way, that's what matters. I mean, we could go on a fit of rush and score 1-2 goals. I've seen Arsenal draw 2-2 even after we've gone up in games against Sunderland. Yeah, I've seen us lose in games like Manchester United, and probably maybe that we've not probably figured out how to really counter them in a way. So sometimes these stubborn teams like Sunderland and others, the Wolves, all these teams, that have a different way, a different approach of playing against Arsenal. Sometimes you just have to break them down limb by limb, foot by foot. You need to dot your I's and cross your T's at times in this kind of scenarios in breaking down these teams. And that's why we went 3-0 up. However late, but we broke them down easily, simple, and easy when we could, and we got the win.
If I can just quickly interject, I mean, like overall, I would agree with you. I mean, the only thing I would contend is that we have gone up against teams like this in the past. We consistently go up against teams that either park the bus, or teams that just are very physical, or teams that just make it overall difficult to control the game. Right? This is it's not to say that these matches happen in isolation. These are matches that we have experienced across many a season, right? So what I would contend is that as a manager, when you have experienced something that is giving you a problem, you have to be creative to find a workaround, to resolve it, or just to directly nip the issue in the bud. We saw 3 years ago in 22-23, we were electric. We were we were smoking teams right out of the gate. And while I do think that that some matches, I mean, of course, like not every match is a cookie cutter approach. We just can't necessarily cut up everyone. Some games we are going to have to, like, for example, put the roast in the slow cooker and let that meat really become a lot more tender. So I do hear that, but again, this, we were also going up against a team like Sunderland, which all respect to them, they did just get promoted last year. I would still think that at the end of this day, I wish we were just a little bit more incisive. I wish we were a little more intentional, going forward, and just not making a meal out of certain matches is all I would say.
I hear it. Should we move on to Craig and see what Craig's thoughts are, and then I'll jump in after and give my thoughts as well.
That was a nice rebuttal from
that was
the same.
Craig, what's your thoughts, my bro?
I thought it was an end-to-end game on Saturday. Sunderland had chances, we had chances, but then I think once Zubimendi put us 1-0 up, it was more like, we're okay now. And then once he made the changes, he brought off Jesus and brought on Gyökeres. Then Gyökeres scored a goal. Good pass from Havertz again. Them two are really linking up well together now. Got a good understanding now. And then Martinelli, for that unselfish pass, could have scored himself, but just laid it on to him and he got the win to kill the game off. So, but I do understand what Dr. Tim was saying, but I feel that with this game on Saturday, we did drop points against Sunderland at the start of the season. We did lose crucial points at the last minute. So this game was not going to be an easy game against them, because I know their away record is not that great, but this team, they've done very well this season. So we had to, show them respect where respect is due, but we have to go out there and do our job. I know it's a big team versus a small team, but small teams can still beat the big team. So it's one of them ones where we did it, got over the line and won the game. So obviously we still need to improve, but if players are coming off the bench and scoring goals and winning games for us, then that's the most important thing, that these are subs are making impact in the game to get us over the line. So we're going to need to do that for the next 13 games now. Players are going to be very crucial to get us over the line.
I hear it. You know what? For me, yes, Saturday, because obviously, I think likes of me, Tony, I think we do watch-alongs most weeks, so we get to see and watch the team how they play. And I kind of I agree with you in terms of the breaking down of teams and stuff. I think sometimes though that because we're in this position, I feel that we think that we can just beat every team just easily, and that's not how it goes, isn't it? It takes time to break teams down. And this Sunderland team, although they've only won 2 on the bounce, they're not no mugs. If you look at each player there, each player 6 foot plus, physical beasts. Brobby, physical. Ballard, physical beast. Giants, land of the giants. So, this wasn't going to be an easy game. And I do stress that first half, we needed a moment of brilliance. And that came from Zubamendi in the first half, because we didn't look like we were breaking them down. There was a good shot from Declan Rice where he tried to curl it outside, just outside of the post from outside the box, but we weren't really penetrating them in the box because Jesus he lacks the physicality that a Gyökeres would have in that first half. But it's the manager's dilemma. Who do you start? Who do you drop? And all that kind of stuff. It's easy for us to kind of judge from the side, from watching and saying this player should have started and this player shouldn't have started. But ultimately, we got the result in the second half. Obviously, Gyökeres and Martinelli came on when the game was going away from Sunderland. They had the pace, and Gyökeres got 2 goals in the end. So, although I was happy with the result, I think this is how our games are going to be throughout towards the end of the season. I don't think there's going to be great performances. We might have 1/2 performances here and there, but I don't think that it's going to be like that. I just think it's just going to be a professional job. Get it over the line, get the 3 points, and get out of there. And I think that's going to be the same. And we're going to talk about Brentford later on in the show as the show goes on. But that's my thoughts on the game. I don't know if anyone has any different thoughts towards that.
Okay. I mean, I've not given my thoughts on the game though. But
oh, sorry, Tony. Sorry, Tony. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Let's say what you got to say, Tony. Sorry about that.
No, man, I do agree with you 100%. I mean, I agree with what Dr. Seaman said. Also, predominantly what he said too, with what Craig too said, and with what you said too. But I want to also highlight what you've also brought into the fray. I mean, highlighting how physical in nature this Sunderland players were. I mean, people tend to forget, that it's one thing, to play a relegation-bound team and survive. It's another thing, to play mid-table team, that are filled with giants, alpha men, 6 foot plus giants, bruv. Lafi, Brobry, Sadiki, Mandava. Who else was there again? Talbi. I mean, this technical blessed players, bruv. Ballard. These are killers, bruv. If you allow this kind of team, if you allow them run wild and free, this set of alpha men would they would run you wild. Mostly if they smell any kind of fear around you, they would snap you up. That's for real. This is the truth. But again, it's I don't really know how lucky we were in not having Granit Xhaka in this team, because this Sunderland team did not take the route of coming to actually sit back, and I give them props for that. Yeah, they came on, to actually have a feel of the ball, to see if they could go up the pitch, have a controlled defense, controlled midfield, and try to see if they could, run up front and try to latch onto some certain kind of chances. They were very physical with us. Broadby was making horrible challenges here and there. You saw the stamp on whose foot did they stamp on? There was someone that was stamped on heavily. Was it Zubimendi?
I think
it was Broadby.
Yeah.
I think it must be very heavy tackle. So Arsenal coming on that very heavy tackles. Gabriel Jesus couldn't really cope with the whole physicality thing. And again, that's why you're blessed with depth. And this is what I mean, I've been talking about this with my brother, Dr. Seymour, on our show together. Yeah, the depth of Arsenal would bail us out this season. Yeah, it will bail us out this season. You have the luxury of saying, you know what, Gyökeres, just sit on the bench and watch the start of the game, and then you can pop in later on and help out the team. And when Gabriel Jesus tried all to no avail, I mean, in the second half, Gyökeres just had to come in, and you could just see the change. You could see the sparkles down there, and people, whether we like it or not. Yeah, I know people have something to say about Kai Havertz, but since he's come in, what has he done? He's scored goals, he's given assists, and it looks like that spark that Gyökeres would really like. I've always been an advocate for two strikers up front. Even if you don't want to use, even if in your system you don't want to use two strikers up front, but just make sure one of them is that kind of guy that could pop up in different positions. Kai Havertz popping up down the right, in the right centre mid. Kai Havertz popping up down there in the left centre mid. Is everywhere, playing as a false nine. He was in the wings. Mind you, he passed that ball to Gyökeres from the position where Trossard was staying. That should tell you the hitman. When we watch these things, we need to have a clear understanding of the positioning of these players and the positioning of Kai Havertz, mostly popping up in different areas, creating for the team. Yeah, and I just felt that in a match-up that didn't start our captain, who's supposed to be the creator in chief, as they always say, in a side that's not starting with our talisman, our so-called talisman, Bukayo Saka. I mean, you would think that this team will be bereft of anything creativity in it, because typically these are the access to creativity, that were already out of the game already. But we picked up the pieces. Creativity was there. Trossard was running down the show. Big matchup for Trossard. Had a very, very amazing game. Pulling the strings. Man, sometimes we need selfless players. Players that don't really just think about themselves, but think of the higher stuff, which is helping the team. Trossard wasn't really crazy about goals on the day, but we're just more inclined to helping out the team, building up towards that left-hand side, finding pocket spaces and attacking those spaces and opening them up, pulling the strings, sending those passes here and there, send that pass to Havertz, send that pass to Zubimendi. On another day, if that was on the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka would have just cut in and tried to take the shot himself. But what did Trossard do? Found that space, with his swift movement, found pocket spaces, opened it really well for Zubimendi with all that chance, all that space. And then he just took that shot. When Zubimendi came down to this football club, people said he can't pass. People said he's useless. People compared him unfairly to Thomas Partey, who has been, in England and played in England for at least for some years. Zubimendi, this is his first season, and man has already scored record goals, personal record goals in a season. His highest he scored for Real Sociedad was 4 goals. That's the highest he scored at Real Sociedad in Spain. Right now, man has scored 6 goals, and no one is talking about that. I mean, we keep hearing about Caicedo. We keep hearing about all these clowns. All these clowns. No one is talking about Zubimendi, who just came into this league, per se, and has scored 6 goals in his first season. All we're hearing is encomium for clowns like Caicedo and all these other clowns we're hearing about. But the one that has started almost every game for Arsenal, scored about 6 goals for Arsenal this season, and the season hasn't ended yet. More goals have to be scored by this guy. In set pieces, is a dangerous threat. In midfield, well, of course, there's no player that doesn't come with their own, weaknesses or mistakes or whatnot. They come with those mistakes. Everyone has it. Thomas Partey was a player in this football club. He wasn't the perfect guy. There were times he was caught napping many times. Times without number, at least 3-4 times. There were even times when he was even used out of position, and man was crocked. See, Partey was always crocked for this football club. I know it's hard to admit it, but it was always crocked. We have a Zubimendi who was coming in his first season to this football club, and man is fit. We can finally rely on someone to be 100% fit for an Arsenal game week in, week out, be it the Champions League, be it the Premiership, be it the Carabao Cup, be it the FA Cup, be it anything, be it the baby, anything. We can really count on someone. See, I'm not taking a piss at Thomas Partey. After all, he's an African brother. I like the guy. He's a great guy, silky player. He's good. You don't have to compare them together. But at the end of the day, he didn't win any trophy for us. So, and neither does he even have the goal-scoring acumen that I'm seeing right now from Martin Zubimendi. To be very sincere with you, how many goals did what was Thomas Partey's highest goal haul in a season for Arsenal? Does anyone have that answer? Anyone?
2 or 3. Maybe about 3 goals.
Who, for Thomas?
Not the same way. You have something to say?
What was the question that you were asking? I'm sorry. Like, were you asking for the total goal?
Thomas Partey, his highest goal haul for Arsenal in any season he's been there.
I think it's while I hear the question, Zubimendi and Partey played 2 different roles in midfield.
No. I'm asking a direct question. How many goals has Thomas Partey scored for Arsenal in any given season? What's his highest goal score?
I personally don't know. But what I am saying though, Tony, is that it's basically almost like the equivalent of asking, how many more goals has
Dr. Seymour, do you know that Martin Zubimendi has outscored every single season Thomas Partey has stayed at Arsenal?
Partey scored 4 goals last season and total goals for Arsenal 9.
Again,
yes.
Yes. while
Zubimendi, who just came from the Spanish La Liga, as almost more than double. See, he will double that in his second season. He would more than double that over the season. He might actually, Zubimendi this season might actually score every single goal and surpass it this season, what Thomas Partey has done all seasons he's been at Arsenal Football Club. But all I hear is praises for all these clown midfielders, bro. And no one give any props for Zubimendi. I was waiting for someone to even say something about Zubimendi. He's been overlooked in this team. And it's because of maybe minor mistakes he's made. But people make mistakes. Keane was making mistakes. It was being sent off on a Manchester United shirt almost every week in, week out. I was in that era. Vieira was sent off most of the time. Finally, we have someone who could keep it clean in a way, who could score goals for the team, who could help the team generally, whose passing accuracy is amazing with the numbers we're seeing, who could help us out in number 6. We're not seeing that he could also help out in that number 8. Just imagine if we got that transfer of Tonali. Just imagine. We could actually just even allow Zubimendi just roam about in that number 8 area. Is also a big threat, set pieces, and just allow Tonali just do his thing down there in that number 6, and just give a free roll to Declan Rice. We could do all these things. That's why this summer is a very big summer upcoming. Yeah, we need to bring in big time players. Alvarez, the Tonalis. We need to be looking at those kind of players. See, people, give the props to whom the props is due. Martin Zubimendi, what an opening goal. And for a midfielder, yeah, to have that keen eye, to have that vision, to just understand where Trossard was going to place the ball for him. And he has already, he has already loaded up that kick even before Trossard sent the ball. Because when Trossard just sent it in, boom, immediately, that ball was off his leg. Immediately, bro. The keeper can't do anything. We need players. I mean, see, Dr. Seymour, Craig, Abs, we were always talking and asking about midfielders, strikers, shooting outside the box. Have we totally forgotten about this narrative? Bro, Bant, me and you have had shows about this, about players taking risks, taking shooting drills outside the 18-yard box and just shooting. Just have a crack at it. Many times we keep criticizing Odegaard. Where are the shots? Where are the shots from outside the 18-yard? Where are they? You're a number 10. You're not taking the shots. What are you doing? Finally, we now have a midfielder who could do all these things, who could score goals for us. Yeah, he's still helping us out defensively. He does a good job in that. He might not be perfect, but he does a good job. Yeah, and he's scoring goals, and that's where we're at. And right now, Gyökeres, people. Now, I went on to a show with BBK Sports, our brother, and I had lots of chests for that one. Dr. Seamus saw me there, and I know he'll be saying, "Oh, Tony, what are you doing?"
That day for sure. Man was sitting
I was saying, "What are you doing, Tony?" But see, people, yeah, this is the spark, and this is what I want you guys to take away from this. Yeah, start of the season, our attack completely moribund. Useless, utterly shite. No one wants to pass to Gyökeres. He was struggling himself, even him too, himself. Sometimes you have to help yourself. Yeah, position yourself, pop up in different positions where you can be able to have access to those goals. Yeah. Right now, man is scoring goals, people. That's the difference. That is key. Our striker having the confidence. Dr. Seymour, to be very sincere, Dr. Seymour has been, talking about Gyökeres and outlets through which you could get passes. He is clamped down on the manager about, his tactics and how to get Gyökeres scoring. I completely give that to you, Dr. Seymour. Even if I criticize him real hard, I get that. But again, that's the thing about criticism. It has a way of actually putting that fire in your boots to get you shooting, to get you going on. And that's what Gyökeres has done now. Now he's scoring goals, he's getting at the end of these goals, and that's what we want our striker to do. So when your striker is scoring, we have no problems, bro. I'm 100% locked in. I'm locked in this because our striker is finally scoring goals. That's what we want. Look at Gyökeres' positioning in 2 of those goals he scored against Sunderland. In the freaking box, right in that circle where you need your striker to be bagging goals. Forget the scissors kick. Forget that back pass from Kai Havertz. Forget the pass from Martinelli. You need your number 9. You need your guy, yeah, who's meant to be scoring the goals for you, yeah, to be in sync, yeah, with every other players around him and him being in the box, being in the position to consume and get those goals. That's what you want. That's where you want your striker in. And that's how you want him scoring goals. Victor Gyökeres, what a goal. What a goal. I mean, amazing. Big, and people don't really understand what this Sunderland thing did for us. They didn't move like we drew against them, yeah? And right now we're pummeling them at home. People, Arsenal is rewriting those wrongs of last season. Last season, there were times we lost to West Ham Aston Villa, we couldn't get to revenge, this mission. Right now this season, Sunderland took away points from us, revenge. Aston Villa took away points from us, revenge. Last season, West Ham took away points from us. This season, instant revenge. Yeah, instant, bro. Lightning rod. Yeah, lightning rod revenge. We're doing all these things here, and it's all good. First Champions League, first, we're in the finals of the Carabao Cup. People, it is what it is. It is what it is. Brentford, over to you. Over to you.
Anyway, after Tony's crazy little waffle out there, let's talk about Gyökeres, because a lot of people, and speaking of Gyökeres,
Come
Mr.
on.
Journey turned up to the party.
Come on.
Right in the right second.
What a fucking day.
In the building as well, man. You're looking all
I like this dude.
out, bro.
Gianni.
Johnny in the building. So,
Sorry,
Gianni
guys.
in
It's
the
been a
building,
long
bro.
day, man.
Bro, what are
Been a long
Don DeMarcos? Bro, Abs, what are the music sounds? What are those sounds, bro? You have all those sounds, the Undertaker sound. Where is it? Come on, bro. Don't do Johnny dirty like that. Don't do him dirty like that. Come on, bro. Play it, bro. Don't do him dirty like that. Come on, bro.
It's all good.
I've got this for Johnny anyway. You give Johnny a nice little respecting applause. But anyway,
Bro, we
as
need
Johnny
fucking
was
Nessun
talking,
Dorma, like singing every time that Gianni walks in.
yeah, man. But you know what? You know what Johnny's gonna do? He's gonna do this.
Emotional damage.
We could do a throw. We could do a throw.
Welcome,
Nah, we
Gianni.
can do a throwback.
Welcome, brother.
You could play some Jeezy.
Oh, man.
That's some G.
But anyway, on a serious note, guys, yeah, because we're gonna get real serious now, yeah. And I'm gonna ask these questions, yeah, and I really want everyone to get locked in to the questions I'm gonna talk about, yeah. So Arsenal are looking mature this season, yeah. But what's the one thing that could cause them to collapse under pressure? And that's for anyone. Open panel, anyone can land. And if you want to argue, debate with each other, that's cool. What is the one thing that is going to make us buckle under pressure?
I mean, I think it's the mentality of it, right? The last few years has been very reminiscent to the Greek myth of Sisyphus. And for those that aren't familiar with the Greek myth of Sisyphus, ultimately, imagine you are pushing a boulder up a hill, right? And as soon as you reach, almost reach the summit of that hill, right? The boulder comes tumbling back down. This unfortunately has been reflective of this squad over the last few years. Where we were top the league in 22-23 and for 93% of the season and still failed to win it. Just as well simultaneously in 23-24 when we were top of the league in week 36 and still failed to win it. So I think overall, and I think even like BBK or Gianni, I can't remember. It was one of you too, but someone had asked, what is more challenging? To either win the league the first time or to retain the league after winning it, and I still believe that as of right now, like the issue is winning the league, or rather even winning silverware at this stage. Like these players and this manager, and for the most part, a lot of our fan base have forgotten what winning looks and feels like. We have been celebrating incremental growth over the last few years. Oh, like for example, our table placement, we have been slowly but surely making our way up, but we have plateaued over the last 3 years, getting second place. And at the end of the day, like there is still a bit of a psychological hurdle that it's a bit of a psychological hurdle that this team needs to get over first. So, 6 points is a good cushion, but we have seen City, make that up in the past. So, just can't be complacent.
Big shout out to BBK for the $5 super chat, man. He's saying, I want to hear some more Tony Waffle. Don't worry, that's coming. And BBK, we're waiting for you. Yeah, don't think you're gonna be in the gym and avoid this. Yeah, you said you're gonna be joining late, so I'm expecting you to join. Yeah, make your
BB
on the channel. But anyway, carry on, Dr. Seymour, and then pass the baton, man.
Oh, I have passed the baton for sure.
Let's go. Let's start with Gianni because Gianni ain't said anything yet. Gianni, what you saying, my bro?
Nothing much. Just another day of work. As far as what could derail Arsenal, mentality or not, it's the manager. I think that's the only thing that can derail Arsenal. I've been beating this drum since October. I don't think this is the same City team. That capitulation in Liverpool is more on Liverpool and the state of mind that they're in than it was so much on City. But as I said to a couple people in a chat that I'm involved with, the problem is at the end of the day is City is showing a little bit of mentality still, because how many times have we seen a team completely give so many chances and the team that's trying to win the game never puts the ball in the back of the net? So City's showing their mentality. The problem is I still don't think City's a good enough team to straight out and win this league unless we're the ones that screw it up. So the doc is right about our mentality. But at the end of the day, it's on the manager. As long as the manager keeps picking, I don't mind the team that he picked recently, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think we all agreed the last time we did this. I don't ever want to see Odegaard play for this fucking team again, if I'm quite honest with you. Unless he's coming in for 15 minutes just to give somebody a break and he's just there to just pass the ball and you retain the ball to burn time. Other than that, I don't want to see this motherfucker in an Arsenal jersey again, if I'm being quite honest with you. As far as Gyökeres is concerned, isn't it amazing? Been saying it all year. If you feed the guy, he's gonna fucking score. You don't score 93 goals in 2 seasons and then just automatically turn to shit. When we're actually feeding the guy's actually scoring some goals. So again, it goes back to and again to go back to Havertz. How shit does Odegaard has to be for Havertz to make himself look good when Havertz been shit for God knows how long for us? So for me, I think it's just a situation of the manager just needs to stay even keel, play this team out the way it is. Obviously, rotate. The one thing I will say is I wasn't happy to see Timber on the pitch this game. I think Timber is desperately needing some rest. He's been one of the most important people for Arsenal this season. So I just don't want to see Timber. I want to see Timber get a little bit of rotation here and there. But beyond that, just rotate, keep Odegaard off the pitch. If it was up to me, I'd keep keep Havertz off the pitch and start Eze and just keep pushing forward and let's see where it goes. Zubamendi, I mean, he's putting himself into the category of he needs to be playing the 8 rather than Rice. I mean, yeah, Rice missed a great chance at the weekend, but Zubamendi's putting goals in. Push Zubamendi up and let Rice do his thing and just win the ball back. I can't imagine how much more dominant we would be if Rice is patrolling the midfield, winning the ball back. Zubamendi gets to push up, and we let Eze push up. It would allow for the offense to flow better. So for me, I think that's about the only thing we got to do. And we got to, again, if Gyökeres starts scoring goals regularly, I don't give a fuck what City does. We're going to run the league. We run this league if Gyökeres starts scoring consistently. If he's scoring a goal every other game or almost every game, we win the league with no problem. We don't have to worry about City.
Definitely.
Craig, I completely agree with you, mate. The only area I had a little kind of reservation about was with Timber. Like Timber, if you remove Timber out of the team, maybe for a rest or something like that, who do you bring in? I don't trust White to go head to head with Talbi. I don't trust him to go head to head with Mandava or Diarra, walking, running up that right hand side like my raiding beast. This guy's they're giants, they're physical beasts, they're alpha men, So having Timber there in that right hand side would really solidify things down there for us. And of course, you could even see Diarra was making those runs down the right hand side. It was really, really, really making those runs. Even if a Timber was actually putting a stamp on it, but again, you could just really feel it. You could really feel it. Tavi was making those runs too. So, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you need your best players to just be there for you to weather the storm. I completely understand, if we could rest him maybe after 70 minutes or something like that. But again, I don't trust Benjamin White to soak up all that pressure from Talia and
White's a good player, you know.
Tony, would you trust Ben White?
handle the
Would you trust
challenge.
Ben White if you told him to sit back and not go forward? Because I think,
Yes.
because one of the things,
yes. But Tim goes forward, and when
But
he
see-
goes
but
forward,
that's
he
the-
also,
Tim is not even that great,
exactly. He does things defensively too. It's in his wheelhouse. It's not in Benjamin White's wheelhouse anyway. That's a big problem. And we know Mikel Arteta, he demands more from the team. He demands more from his players. He would demand Benjamin White still go. He wouldn't say what you just said, hey, defensively. No, he's going to say, you know what, stay defensively, but still push up front and see what you can get out there. And that's what Mikel Arteta will always do. But again, when you have Diarra running wild and free, Talbe running wild, and Madava, a giant, running like that, bro, it might be so hard. You need your experienced players to bail you out in things like that.
No,
Benjamin
I
White,
hear
mind
you. All I'm saying
having
for me
problems
is
with
this.
with his physicality. We still have problems with Benjamin White's fitness levels too. That's another problem.
Correct, but that's why I'm saying if you were to stick a Ben White on the right-hand side,
Oh, I think
Oops. Our brother.
cut
He'll be
short.
back. He'll be back. Gianni will be back.
Another
Jan
gent,
will be
while one
back.
goes, the other one comes in, man, like Cape in the building. So I want Craig to
Hey,
land.
Cape!
Yeah. Big up to Cape in the
Cape in the
building.
building.
Hey,
Big ups, Cape.
people in here, man. Big up to Cape. Craig, chime in on the Ben White and the Timber right back thing, but I don't have a problem with any of them. I think Ben White's capable. Ben White's a lot more physical than what people think, you know, and he can mix it up when he's ready to. But I hear the Timber playing your best team as well. I get that. But Craig, do you want to chime in on that, please, bro?
As you said, I think Timbers has been like number one choice this season, but Ben White was number one choice before, and Ben White on his day is a very good defender. You know what I mean? So, and if you tell Ben White to do a job for the team, he'll do a job for the team. He played injured for like almost a whole season. Before he had his bad knee injury, he played for the whole season injured. So you got to give credit where credit's due. He's a good player. You know, I'm only saying he doesn't track his fitness issues, but he can still do a job for the team. So you need it. As I said, from now on end of the season, you need the whole squad to do a job for the team. So, you know, so I do agree with Dr. Seymour, and even with the whole Gyökeres as well. Like Gyökeres is scoring goals now because he's getting service. He wasn't getting service before. He's getting service to score goals, and he's being clinical. I think he scored in the last 3 games now. Two on Saturday, 1 against Leeds, and I think he scored the game before that as well. So, you know, you have to like have faith in our players. Like players like Saka is out injured at the moment. I wouldn't even rush him back, you know. Or let him heal. Let him heal properly, and then you got Madueke doing well, and you can even bring on Martinelli on the right hand side, like he got the assist for the goal the other day. I think Martinelli needs credit as well. I think he's really stepped up this season coming off the bench. He's made an impact every time he's come off the bench. We don't know to really talk about that, but I think he's done a good job coming off the bench. Got an assist on Saturday. I think he got an assist for one of the goals the other day as well. So he's coming in clutch now. We need him to continue with a good form. And I hope he doesn't get any more injuries. So if he can stay fit and Gyökeres can start scoring, Havertz to get an assist, you know, we're good. We should be good to win the league.
100. Kate, you want to chime in here? We're talking about obviously the team, the players and stuff like that, and you know, team selection. We was talking about Timber playing on Sunday. I think, what was it, Johnny? You mentioned Ben. You would have preferred Ben White on Saturday.
Yeah. Let Gianni finish that up.
From
the beginning.
The only thing I was saying with this is I listen, I don't trust Ben White either. I think Ben White's one of the guys we need to ship out in the offseason, if I'm being quite honest with you. You get through the season and then say thanks for helping out with the trophy, but get the fuck out because he's too injury prone now. For me, if you're gonna give Ben White any time to replace Timber, or if you want to play Timber, but at least still try to give Timber a rest while he's playing, don't push them forward. The one thing that I cannot stand about watching this team is the fact that I'm seeing Hincapia and Timber further forward than the wingers. The wingers are staying further back when we go on the defensive side, which is unnecessary. Why is Hincapia? And then what's even funnier is the wingers are further back and the fullbacks are further forward when we're playing in defense. And then when we're in the offensive side, the wingers are touchline and the fullbacks are closer to the 18-yard box than the actual wingers are, especially when you consider Trossard's our second best goal scorer this season behind Gyökeres. So for me, I think that's the only thing we need to tweak. But for me, Timber or Ben White, if you play either of them, I would tell them lag off a little bit on the defensive side or on the offensive side and sit back a little bit more.
But Gianni, we're surely going to need him though in certain games, yeah, when because Timber's not going to play every single game to the end of the season. So we're going to need something from Ben White. I don't necessarily agree that Ben White, all right, he might be injury prone now, but I don't believe that he's a bad player. I think he's a very good player, and I think he's very capable.
Can I chime in there?
No, Abs, I'm sorry. Gianni hasn't said he's a bad player. He hasn't said he's a bad player.
He's injury prone.
He just said he's an injury prone player. I mean, we need to watch this little spaces. He hasn't said that. The thing there is that Benjamin White is always getting injured. We have problems with his physicality. And again, if you look at the way Mikel Arteta plays with his fullbacks, he pushed him so further up the pitch, that at times the ones that have fitness issues or fitness worries might have problems, running those channels, going up the pitch, coming back up the pitch again. It might be so worry for him. And right now, we don't still understand Benjamin White's fitness level till date. We don't know.
Can I chime in, Tony? Yeah.
We don't
can
know.
I just say something though? I said he's not a bad player.
There will be games where he would play. There will be games where he would come in and give rest to Timber. But as for me, I want to see Timber all day.
Yeah, of course. Timber's the best right back in the world right now. He's
the best. Absolutely, he's the best. Absolutely.
Yeah, but being the best doesn't mean that you're going to play every single game, though. Especially in the Premier League, that's like 4 competitions as well. He's not going to play every single game, is he? You're just going to run.
That's why you need to conserve. That's why you need to conserve energy while you're playing. That's why I said if you're going to have a guy like. How many times have we seen big teams, whether it's Barcelona or whoever? There's been games where Dani Alves wouldn't push up. He stayed further back and Jordi Alba goes and pushed up. Same, and then you reverse it for the next game. You have to know how to manage the minutes of every single one of these players in order to go for all the...
But can I also say this, though? Like, obviously, first of all, I'm with you, Johnny, and I would have started Ben White on Saturday. But that's more because of I think Ben White is a better offensive player than Timber. Not that Timber's bad, just that what Ben White got for us. But just to go back on the conversation, I think it's a bit unfair to say Ben White is injury prone, even though he has been, because you have to remember for years he was playing as our first choice right back while Tomiyasu was going through his injury problems, and Ben White had to play through injuries, injections, play through all that stuff, which is obviously causing him to not be able to recover, obviously. And then Timber, funny enough, obviously he comes in, has that ACL, and Ben White has to also play through that. And they've been kind of going back and forth. This is kind of the first period of time that we've had both of them fit for like a long period of time. Obviously, you have to protect players that have had huge injury problems, especially guys that have sacrificed their body for the team. I think Ben White still has a lot to give. I think it's just been unfair because obviously Timbers had been able to be more fit or more available, and obviously Timbers an amazing player. Like, I probably give you the same thing. I think he's the best right back when he's on his in the part in the world. But obviously you can say Reece James, Hakimi have an argument there, but I think the reason why, like, to the Dani Alves point, I think it's a bit different because Barcelona didn't have a player or another right back, deputizing for Dani Alves of that level. Like, maybe they had Maxwell and they had other type of players, but it wasn't Dani Alves level. I don't think there's much, difference between Ben White and Timber. I think in terms of what they both have deficiencies in, I think like what they're good at kind of balances them out. I think Ben White, in terms of his ability to play amazing, he's one of our best passers in the team. I think he's composed. He can play both attack versus defense. I think Timber's our best 1v1 defender, very technical dribbler. But I think having them both gives you the option. I think what we've been talking about in terms of there's some games where it suits a Ben White. We're talking about Saturday, for example, against a low block, and there's some games where it suits a Timber. Champions League nights against a tough winger, we want Timber to be playing. I think it's good to have both, because if we only had one, we'd be talking about the deficiencies more than what the other don't. Like, other teams don't have that luxury. So I think it's just nice to see if the manager can utilize the profiles in the team going forward. I think that's what's going to be the key. If Mikel can kind of pick and choose what games are best for, whether that's a Havertz, Gokres up front, whether that's a Zubamendi or Rice or Makelweke, Sako, and so on and so forth. I think that's what's the main thing, and that in turn will keep the players fit. If he kind of goes with a one lineup thing, and then 1 or 2 changes per game, I think that's the dangerous play, because obviously, one, guys that are on the bench are not fit and in the team, and two, guys that are playing too many minutes. I think we've kind of see him in the last 4 weeks. He's kind of rotated the squad quite well, in my opinion, anyway. So,
agree.
He needs to continue doing that.
Agree. I completely agree with you.
I mean, I completely agree with Capo, bro. I completely agree with you. And again, people, we're also forgetting, if Benjamin White goes down to injury right now, this is the thing about depth, people, it helps you out. And that's why I like the work what Andrea did in the summer, bringing all this depth to Arsenal. We have a 6-foot+ defender, tall, lanky, we call this guy Mosquera, for Valencia. He's played as a centre back. He's played as a right back. He's played as a left back. In this team, he's played in left back position. He's played in right back position. He's played as a central defender at Arsenal as we speak this season. So if Benjamin White goes down to injury right now, I'm rest assured, that we have someone who could come in and just keep it a little bit easy for Timber to just rest on just a little bit for the next matchup. So again, we figured everything out this season in terms of depth. It's just ugly that, couple of injuries happened all at the same time to our central defenders. But now that is totally gone, now you can now start seeing our depth shine in places that we never thought it would. So we're in a good place defensively.
Definitely, 100%. In terms of the Brentford game on Thursday, are you guys, and this is just a neutral question for any of you guys, are you guys concerned that if Man City win and they're 3 points behind Arsenal going into that match, do you think it's massive pressure on the players, and do you think this is going to show on the players on Thursday?
I don't think so. I think should I say a mad take, and I've seen this earlier, but I was thinking this. I think from this point on, moving forward, any pressure that the players feel will come from the fans and the nerves that we feel. And I think there's always going to be pressure in it. I think coming into this season, the club, the manager knew what was on stake, what needed to happen. If obviously, because we're getting there, obviously we're thinking about it from a standpoint of losing our position. But let's just say, for example, we were in City's position and we were 6 points behind City and City were first. I'm still saying we need to win the league, because that's what needs to happen this season. And I think when we watch games, and don't get me wrong, when we're playing lethargic football or slow football, of course it's going to get frustrating. We all want to win, but the nerves are what caused it. I'm looking at City win yesterday, and they always had a chance of winning yesterday. It shouldn't do anything for us. We handled our business. As long as we handle our business and the games go down, it doesn't matter what City do. The City can win every game 10-0. It doesn't really matter. But the problem is, us as fans have the PTSD of previous years, and obviously we're gonna have that. So there's a right for us to have that, because we've been in this situation at least 2 previous seasons and we've bottled it or not capitalized. But at the same time, I don't think this City team's the same type of team. Even if they're gonna win games. Like, if we were playing Brentford on Tuesday and they were playing on Thursday, for example, we could, in theory, go 9 points ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? Or like what we was this weekend. It's just the way the rubber the green's gonna go. I think we just got to handle our business, and I think Brentford are a good team. They're in form. It's going to be a tough game. Obviously, we've won their last, I think, 3 years or 4 years, maybe going up to their ground. But at the end of the day, as long as we handle our business, it doesn't really matter what City do. And I think, because as you said, like if City, for example, lose against Fulham, one could argue there's even more pressure now because there's an opportunity to capitalize. I think we just have to handle our business. That's all that matters. Whether City win, lose, draw, it doesn't really matter anymore to me. Just win your games.
Yep. The biggest thing stopping Arsenal from winning is Arsenal. That's it. That's the only thing that's stopping Arsenal from winning is ourselves. That's the only thing. Again, this ain't at the end of this season. Manchester City fans should be kissing the ground that Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne walk on, because they're the whole reason why they did what they did with all those years of winning. You can see the huge difference. You know, all them City fans and everybody else that was hyping up to Gianni Reinders. No, sorry, you don't watch City A. The dude was hit or miss every other fucking week with Milan. Dude is not that type of a killer like everyone tried to hype him up to be. Never was at that level. First off. Second of all, Bernardo Silva ain't the same guy. He's the walking wounded. Bernardo Silva looks like he's going to collapse any day now, anytime he starts with City. He's not the same player.
I agree.
They don't have Riyad Mahrez. They don't have Riyad Mahrez anymore, who was their super baller. He's not there anymore. All the killers that was there that were the main guys carrying the torch for City to win all those titles are no longer there. You're seeing an inexperienced City team. That's why I said in our group chat, I said, listen, everybody was hyping up Semenyo and fucking Gahey. I'm sorry. If you're City, if you're taking this league serious, you're going to get killers at the top level that are dealing with this day in and day out. Not a team like Crystal Palace that's lower. Everybody can hype up Palace for what happened last year. They are nowhere near the same team it was last year. For me, it's just a mental thing. If Arsenal keep it cool and play the same way, we're walking the league. Especially if we get Gyökeres scoring every game, there's no sweat on our back. There's nothing, because again, the main thing is this: we need to pull away to where that game at the Etihad doesn't mean a fucking thing. That's the only way the pressure is going to come back and bother us, to where you could potentially see the PTSD kick in on the players, is if we're going to the Etihad and it's only a 2-point difference. That's it. If we're going into the Etihad game 7, go ahead.
So that's why us as fans, I say the last thing to us, because I think there's all the pressure is on the players. I'm not saying there's no pressure on the players. I'm saying us as fans have to challenge ourselves to hold the nerve of really showing that belief that we believe we're going to win, and how we kind of sing and support the team when we're in the stadium, and how we create that atmosphere, that 12th man tactic. I think that's the final step for me to making sure that whether City do get into some form and win the next, 3 or 4 games, which they more than likely can do, and they probably will do off the back of that result, we just got to make sure that we focus on what we're doing, because we're not chasing them. Like, City's results have no influence on our results as long as we win. And not that long, just as long as we win. It doesn't really matter what they do, because they're hoping for us dropping points, and they can't afford to drop points. Well, even though mentally we don't want to drop points, we can actually still afford to drop points, which is mad to say. And that's just credit to what we've done this season. So I think we just got to take over the line, because if we woo the team up the line, I think that superpower is the final step. I'm not saying we're not doing that, but I'm saying like wholeheartedly believe it, because there's only a couple of more game weeks to where, like, if we are very consistent and City drop points, things can really change. Like, and I think that's what we should be fixing on, rather than it could be one of those years where we drop it, and because anything can happen. But it's like, what do you want more? Do you want to win, or are you fearful that we're gonna lose? Because I goddamn want to win, and that's all I'm seeing. That's all I want, and that's all I believe in. And it's nothing's gonna change that. Like, unless the team stops winning, but they haven't shown me any signs that they're gonna stop doing it.
CKP, I completely agree with everything you said. Even you, Gianni, I completely agree with what you said. Both points very, very valid. CKP, we need our fan base, because we have a big problem with that. Within our fan base, we're enemies. We don't like each other. We hate each other. And we need everyone to be we need everyone clocked in. Everyone should be clocked in for this one, bro. Because Arsenal fans are the ones overhyping this Man City team. They are the ones overhyping this Man City team. Gianni, I've just told you, those winners are no more there again. Gundogan is no more there. Mahrez, who used to conjure magic from nowhere, he's no more there. These killers are no more there. Arsenal fans are the ones overhyping this Man City team. They're very, very inexperienced right now. They have Mamouche, who is in fine on all cylinders. They have Foden, who's still trying to find a in boots, trying to get goals. Of course, I'm not going to take a piss at Semenyo Post. He's a good player. Anytime he can turn up. But we've now seen, at least after yesterday, we could now see that, he would get a few mental blocks here and there. It shouldn't just be a jolly ride, ultra. Just like our brother Gianni have said, all these killers are no more there. Kevin De Bruyne is no more there. This is not the City team that these Arsenal fans are overhyping that are going to win the league, that they have they have several amount of experience to actually kill this league. No, they don't have that. Yes, they have Haaland, but Haaland have just scored 2 penalty goals in 8 games. Make that make sense.
Haaland
2 penalty goals
Tony.
in
Haaland
8
goes through a
games.
drought every
Make
year.
that make sense.
Haaland goes through a drought. Haaland goes through a drought every year. He did it at Dortmund. He did it at Dortmund before he went to City. Even in the shit Bundesliga, he would go in the Bundesliga and go games without scoring. Him going through a drought is normal. If we're being honest here, the only killer that's actually been playing good the entire year for City is Donnarumma. If Donnarumma's not on this team and it was Ederson, the league's over with already. Ruben Diaz is one of the most overrated center backs, has been one of the most overrated center backs, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. John Stones is bullshit. John Stones only had 1 good fucking year when they won the treble. John Stones ain't that fucking good. The saddest thing is the best defender was probably Laporte, and he's been gone for God knows how long.
No, I can't like
Vardy.
Mark Gay, he's the best
And even
defender.
Kusanov, he collapsed yesterday. Kusanov collapsed under the pressure.
He got kicked in the head, I swear.
But if it was an Arsenal defender that collapsed yesterday, they'll say, "Oh, the mentality is gone." This is Arsenal fans, we do this to ourselves. Kusanov collapsed under the pressure yesterday, bro.
No, he got kneed in the head.
He got kneed in the head.
Who were not even really sure about his fitness levels, bro. Because man is just coming back from injury. Arsenal fans are the ones doing this. We are the ones overhyping this Man City team. As Gianni said, they are they're not experienced. They don't have Gundogan. They don't have Kevin De Bruyne. They don't have Mahrez to bail them out in those kind of games. They don't have Aguero.
Rodri's not in it.
You have Man City team that has won all these trophies for them, bro. It's Arsenal fans overhyping this Man City team. And we'll see by the end of the season when we win all these trophies, and we'll just look at these people and we'll laugh at them. But again, let's see what happens. See, you know what? Yeah, Abs, you were talking about this Brentford game. You know what? Yeah, I think we'll win Brentford easy. All these people talking. See, armchair specialists. Fall back. You know what? Yeah, they went down to Newcastle. Yeah, they went away from home. Yeah, they beat Newcastle. I get that. We also beat Newcastle away from home. We have a way of handling this. This kind of teams that seem to be very physical in nature. All this kind of teams, we've beaten them already this season. We went down to the Vitality Stadium where we had to go face giant beasts out there, who were fast, technical in our approach, in the Vitality Stadium down there, and we beat them 3-2. We faced physical sides this season. Newcastle, physical side. Bournemouth, physical side. Leeds is also a physical side. They told me that this Leeds team will be hard to beat at Ellen Road. We went on the road, smacked up the Leeds at Ellen Road, and came back and we're chilling. See, people, I think we're going to beat Brentford. It's not going to be easy because they do have physical British players. Janssen, Thiago is scoring. Ajer, these guys, Ouattara, these guys are good. I can't get that. They're physical. But Arsenal have also shown that we could also be physical in nature and come up with wins in dangerous away games.
Yeah, but you know what, Tony? Here's the thing. We can win it.
To that end, though,
here's the thing. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I apologize. Look, I love that everyone has chest. I really do. And at the end of the day, that is probably what a lot of fans should have regarding their club is chest. The fact of the matter is, City have been massively underperforming this season, and they're only 6 points behind us. So now, while I certainly appreciate that this is not the City of years past, they also still have the same bus driver driving the bus, and that bus driver driving the bus knows how to get to the final destination. We have only been approaching the next to last stop. So at the end of the day, this manager and these players, they have it all to prove not only to themselves but to us that they know how to get over the line, both physically and psychologically speaking. Unfortunately, maybe it is PTSD, maybe it's just part of my own upbringing as well. But I'm only, and I will always will ever be, a person that
See it,
says
see it to believe it, guy.
BBK is
See it to
after you,
believe it,
Tony,
guy.
man.
I am. Really,
Yeah, I know that you are still, and
You
I
know-
understand. Yeah, go on.
you know, and to that end, you know, like we have seen various opportunities this season where these players and this manager has had the opportunity to widen the gap.
What's this?
And when that opportunity has arrived, we have failed to widen the gap. Because I'm sure that most people on this channel right now, panel and chat, would agree that we should be at least 12 to 15 points ahead, not 6
That is
points
true.
ahead.
Yeah.
You know, so to that end, you know, like rather like if Man City get the win midweek and we have to play the following day, it'll be another test for this manager and for these players to ensure that they can get over the line.
But you know what, I will counter to that, even though I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I actually agree with everything you're saying, and I understand why you view things rather like, I'm pretty sure that means by your rhetoric, if Arsenal win the league next season, I need to see the biggest chest from Dr. Seymour I haven't seen in my life. So that's all I'm seeing. But cool, yeah. Let's move on. Yeah, I think I agree with everything to this point. Yeah, like City in previous seasons when they've been the one that's chased us, have obviously on top of the players that obviously Gianni and obviously Tony have also mentioned that they don't have, and those were very key players. Pep being his prime, City had been already in some type of form. I think this season, if you're looking at this calendar year, obviously yes, they've won the last two games. I think Wolves and Liverpool. And the Liverpool game of two halves. They played very well first half, didn't score. They kind of got popped second half. Liverpool scored their goal, didn't capitalize, and City came back into the game because Liverpool are dead. Obviously, the way to look at games. Obviously, there was nothing from that game that gave me any implication of, oh, do you know what, or anything like that. Like, it was just more two teams going for it. It was a very entertaining game for the neutral, and they won. I won't be surprised if they play Fulham and they draw, or they play Fulham and they lose. I'm not saying they will. I think they will win, but I think City this season have shown the level of inconsistency, both domestically, both in Europe, that has shown throughout the season. And I don't think it's not just predicated on they don't have the ex-players. I think they just don't have the players physically. Like, City fade a lot in second halves. They're bad second half teams statistically. Go look at the stats. They concede a lot of goals. Yep. They don't run at the same amount of distance, and they have to rely on Donnarumma a lot, who is a world-class keeper and showed it yesterday again. Which is probably one. I think what Tony said. They're probably one saving grace on top of Pep is Donnarumma is an amazing keeper, and he will save them a lot of points that they shouldn't be.
Can I just counteract something though? Yeah, because it's dangerous when you start to say people are overrating City, because one, they may not be having a great season, yeah, but City are known to be finishers in a season, yeah. Maybe not last season, yeah, they had a break, and maybe they're not as good as they are this season, yeah. But you can't accuse Arsenal fans of thinking, well, you know what, yeah, and this is PTSD again, that this team, if we drop our guard, they are capable, yeah, of stringing like 4 or 5 wins.
No, I agree.
Let me finish.
But not 11 wins.
Tony,
let Arsenal fans that said that they will go on a run, on an 11-win run. Bro, there is no run coming, bro. That's a lie.
Tony, let him
not going to do any 11-man run. Nothing. Not 11 games.
Tony, let him land.
2-3 games. 4 games. I hear 11-man run. No, I don't agree to that.
I don't know where you got 11 games.
Let's say it.
City are capable of going on a 4-5 game run. That's what I said. I didn't say 11 game run. So
no, I didn't say you said that. I said that I've heard people say City can go on an 11-game run and win these all games and win the league. Bro, I've heard ridiculous statements,
I don't believe that.
Even from Arsenal fans, bro. It's not true. There's no team that would do 11 right now at this time in the season.
I don't
even Aston Villa bought that 11.
But Tony Claude, I think Abs is saying basically that people have to respect the fact that, like, historically City have shown an ability to be consistent. Even last season, and I think I agree with you, Abs. I think they were on the best form to end the season last season, even though they finished third. I think, if I'm remembering correct, I watched all these things.
Who are the killers down there?
I know. I'm not saying they don't have them. I'm not saying they don't have.
Who did it? No, the moment those killers left them, Liverpool won the title.
No, Tony Claude, I'm not saying that they don't.
The moment those killers left them, Liverpool won the title.
No, but I'm saying
What I'm saying.
no, but
The
I'm
killers
saying
are not there.
I'm not saying that they don't have killers because you know me, I believe in Arsenal. I'm just saying, obviously, I like to play devil's advocate in arguments. I understand the City side. I think the problem is for this season is that if you look at their calendar year in 2026, they've only won two games in all comps. I think if I'm correct, or 3 games,
Yep.
including
No, you're
Champions
right.
League.
You're
Like,
right.
their form is
You're
not showing any that for me. I'm not saying obviously you look at the last 2, you can say okay, do you know what, they're turning the corner. Let's see what they do against Fulham. I think because our game is even I think the last game of the week, so you know everyone's gonna be watching our game. You know how it's looking. You know what I'm saying that's what is the PTSD. I'm saying if you're looking at off the season, and this is what I've looked at. Because I'm not looking at City. I looked at the game. I watched the game. If they lost and it was a 9-point lead, well, amazing. If they had drawn and an 8-point lead, amazing. If they had won, which they did, 6-point lead, it's still a 2-game swing. They still need Arsenal to lose 2 games, and they need to capitalize in game weeks where they haven't shown that they have done that on us. Because when we were going through our blipping period, Forest, Liverpool, United, they didn't win in those game weeks. I think it was only the Wolves game, but by that time we had, I think it was a 7-point lead. And also, like, I think the problem with Arsenal is that we have to see ourselves show a bit of a second blip. Like since that last blip that we had, we've caned Leeds 4-0 and we caned Sunderland 3-0. That tells me a team that's changed their tone. That's because before that we were winning games 2-1 and 3-2 and all these kind of close kind of games and stuff, and it was looking. Now it's like a belt to us type of situation.
But
We'll
you
see
know
what we do to
why
Brent.
that is though, Cape? You know why that is though, Cape? Because Havertz has come in and he's playing more of like a second.
Yeah, as a SS, yeah. We're playing like a 4-4-2 still. So that means the managers then change the system and implemented something that's helped the team. Whether you credit the manager or don't, that goes to your say. But either way, like obviously, if we go to Brentford and that will be with all the pressure we're talking about, and we handle business. Like I also agree with 20. I think we're going to handle business against Brentford. Probably.
Gezzo has a good record against Brentford, guys.
Yeah, well, like again, but simultaneously,
Gezzo has a good record against Brentford.
We are talking about Brentford that has a manager.
Dang, exactly. He has a good record against Brentford, bro. Could be seeing goals on the day.
Yeah. Brentford are a very good team. I'm not saying the game's going to be easy. Like I think they're similar to the narrative going into the Leeds game.
Champions smack those teams no matter what.
Yeah. Going into the Sunderland game, their team, obviously, Sunderland were 8th. I know their away form was bad, but obviously Sunderland are a good team. They've caused us problems in the away fixture.
Nottingham Forest smacked them up away from home.
In the Leeds game, I was hearing that Leeds are great at Ellen Road and you know all types of stuff, and we made that game look very easy. I'm not just saying that blindly Arsenal going to do that, but we seem to have turned the corner to where it's like ruthless. It's not like we're not like the games as you say. It's not like I'm saying the whole 90 minutes is ruthless, but by the end of full time in the last 2 Premier League games, we've not once worried or be concerned about the opposition causes us any threats. We've got 2 clean sheets and we've been scoring goals. Our striker now, who I've criticised, is now in a very good reign of form, and the team is flowing. Of course, whether we want to credit that to Havertz or credit that to Odegaard or whatever you want to credit to, that's for us to kind of get into. But either way, the team's showing us a level of consistency that I think till they show us another blip and City show us consistency, then those 2 things match. But if City win and Arsenal win the league. So it doesn't really matter until Arsenal stop winning. So that's why I don't want, like I'm saying, we shouldn't be focusing on if City can do something until Arsenal show signs that they're going to allow that to happen. Because if we win against Brentford, that's probably the biggest win of the week, because playing last after City potentially making it 3 points and then extending that lead again and probably beating a team that's in good form.
I've got some questions here, people. Yeah, sorry, I've got some questions here. Yeah, I don't know if this is a question statement, but question is: Man City got Fulham? Is Man City got Fulham? That should be easy for them. We have Brentford, who is an informed team, exactly with Thiago up front. So we will be 3 points above Man City if they win. 6 points, isn't it?
Well, so like it'd be 3 points. But we would have that technically. We'd have that game in hand, like up until the following day.
Oh, so if we win 3 points,
yeah, Man City beat Fulham, they're gonna be the points gap will be 3 until we play, and obviously he's saying that the Brentford game is a harder game than the Fulham game. So he's basically saying it's not just he's scared.
Is it though?
What this comment is saying is that he's scared. Basically, is what he's saying.
I mean, like,
go on, let Craig, and I'll answer the next question. Go on.
But the last time Fulham played Man City, it was 5-4 game. They were very unlucky to score to equalise. Everyone keeps on thinking Man City are going to run over Fulham. Fulham are a good
Fulham
team. They've got
decent.
good players. They've got some good wingers, tricky wingers. Awardby's in good form.
Some ex Arsenal boys as well, fam.
So they might do a job for us on whenever they're playing them. So I'm not really on this bandwagon that Man City are going to win easily. They're going to have to work hard to win that game.
Man City's defense is not great. Like, I'm not trying to like glaze them. Like, what I watched yesterday, Liverpool, that they're
Okay,
not
don't
good
even
enough
go
team.
there. Okay, don't even go to that. Don't even go there. Don't go there. This man don't even want that argument. Don't even go there. Because you go there to open a can of worms. And these mans are not ready for that kind of worms. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. City have to prove to us this season the level of consistency. The same way these armchair pundits are holding Arsenal, are holding Arsenal to actually show some freaking mentality. I get that. I understand that completely. But the team they're pitching us against hasn't even shown us any form of consistency in any manner this season, bro.
Simultaneously, though,
the scorers aren't firing on cylinders. The midfielders used to bail them out are not bailing them out no more. Foden's goals are dried up.
Despite the fact that they haven't been consistent, though, Tony, and again, like this is where I say, like rather we can't let our foot off the gas pedal. Like we have to keep at the end of the day, doesn't matter what any other team does. We have to be focused on what we're doing, right? So again, but to that end, we can't be complacent, and simultaneously, like we just have to, again, like we just like we have to show that we have the mentality. We have to, like we have to demonstrate that we can, that we can put a string of games together on a consistent form. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on us, and again, like it'll be matches from now up until the end of the season that'll demonstrate whether or not this squad and this manager has the mentality. I'm happy to praise Arteta,
but there's also pressure on City. There's also pressure on City too. Massive pressure on City too. I saw Rodri come out in an interview, Dr. Samo. I saw Rodri come out in an interview and actually accuse the referees and the PG Mole of not being neutral.
Honestly,
that's a sign of flinching. That's a sign of flinching. But where is the mentality? If it was an Arsenal player or an Arsenal captain that did that, we'll look at it and say, oh, okay, the pressure is on. Okay, where's the mentality? Okay, come, guys, see, everyone is feeling the pressure. They've not shown us any form of consistency.
But we've done that, Tony. We've done that in the past.
They're not going to do it.
Big up,
There's no run.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've done that in the past too. Come on, this motherfucker was blaming the different ball for the Carabao Cup last year. Come on, we've done the same thing.
That was a couple of years ago.
Well, no, that was last year when he blamed the ball. But all I'm saying is this, and I'm coming at this from the perspective of my other club, Napoli. When you look at how Napoli won the league last year with Conte, you have to realize it's going the same way for Arsenal, similar to how it was also going for Liverpool in the previous league. The rest of the league was shit. Liverpool was not that. Liverpool was just consistent. They didn't play great last year. They were just the most consistent team, which led them to winning the title last year. Same thing with Napoli. They rode their luck. Arsenal right now, all the luck is going in our favor. And you know what? The champions forced the luck to go in their favor. We've seen it every year. How many times did the luck go Manchester United's way when Fergie was the coach? All the fucking time. We've seen the luck go Manchester City's way when all the killers were there with Pep. The champions forced their luck. That's why I'm saying with Arsenal, just keep the same grind going. Keep going the same way about it so you force the luck to go in your favor and ride it out. That's what Arsenal's got to do. That's why we're all saying the biggest threat to Arsenal not winning is Arsenal. City shouldn't mean shit to us at this point. We all know. Doesn't matter who City's going to run up against in these last remaining games of the season. City's going to drop at least 2 to 3 more games. We know that for a fact. And even if Arsenal drops 2 to 3 more games, we still got the cushion. We just need to take advantage at the certain points when they drop to get a little bit more points there. Other than that, no, the pressure's on both teams, but you still got to ride your luck out. City hasn't rode their luck out. When we dropped points, City didn't take advantage. We took a little bit of an advantage because, look, we were 7 points ahead going into December. We're back up to 6. We dropped a little bit, but went back up to 6. We just got to ride it out. Just keep riding it out and don't make any, and to what the doc says, ride out the luck, but don't make any critical fucking mistakes like he did in 22-23. Had we rode the luck out with how good Trossard was when Trossard came in and we were smacking teams off the fucking block for 7 straight weeks, and then he rushed Jesus back, took Trossard out, who was the main reason why we were doing that the way that we were going forward and playing good football, then look what happened. We only won 1 game in 7. We dropped the 8-point lead and City passed us right on by. That's where he's talking about with the PTSD. Ride the luck out. You ride this luck out, keep playing the hot hands that are hot in this team and ride their luck out. We're winning the league. We're winning the league. City ain't that fucking team, man. I'm telling you. City is not that team. Rodri's not saving their ass. Rodri is not on Ballon d'Or form like he was. Ain't nobody on that form like they were 2 years ago when they last won the league. All we need to do is just ride our luck out and we will win.
Yeah, and the only thing I can say, to even piggyback on that, as we know, like on paper, a lot of on paper,
I can't hear the
of these. Am I on mute?
Maybe it's me.
No, I can hear you. Can you hear Seymour?
We can hear you.
So look, a lot of these matches on paper are solid, and we should, and we should be. I mean, in theory, we should be able to get over the line on paper. However, simultaneously, as we'll recall, several years ago, like we had that 3-3 draw to Southampton at home. We also, I think we also lost to Brighton 2 or 3-0 at home. Again, the thing that worries me the most is just, I don't think we have been very consistent this season. To be very frank with you, a lot of the other teams have been even more inconsistent than we have been, and that's where I find a little bit of concern. So because again, City have been poor this year. They have been very poor, but they are still only 2 matches striking distance away from us. So to that end, the two of the most important games. And before I go, big up Gianni. Sorry about that, man.
Big up Gianni, man.
But probably 2 of the biggest matches that remain this season are the Carabao Cup final and the away leg at the Etihad. If things go pear-shaped in the Carabao Cup final, I think that's going to be very damaging psychologically.
Ooh, this is a good point. And me and Craig, actually, we live quite close to the ground. Craig literally is on the doorstep of Wembley, while I can see Wembley.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to let Craig come in, because Craig's not really said much on this panel today, and I really want to give him
Craig, that's true.
Craig, do you agree?
Man.
Do you agree with Dr. Seymour, or do you disagree that if we don't beat City in the finals, do you think this can impact us winning the Premier League?
I totally agree with Dr. Seymour. I thought that winning beating City in the cup final would be the extra confidence boost that'll just get us over the line, get our first monkey off our back, win that trophy. As I said to you in our show last week, get that win over the line, and then we go to we get us confidence to go on and win the league. If City win that cup, they're gonna have all the confidence to go and win. They're gonna be on. They're going on a run, and they're gonna go on and maybe get confident. When you lose a game, especially a big game like a cup final, the energy will be drained out of the players. Like, look what Man United used to win Carabao Cups. They're going to win the league. They're going to win trebles. That game, that's the crucial game that will win the league. That will give them, we could get the extra push to get us to the next over the line. They'll go on and see how much more trophies you can pick up after that. So I do agree with Dr. Seymour. I think we have to beat City in the cup final. Has to happen. Have to beat them. Doesn't matter how we beat them, but we have to beat them and have a statement. That would be a statement win for us to, say, what? That's a marker. When we play them at the Etihad, even if we don't beat them, if we don't lose against them, then we know we're going to win the league. So, but I want to go and beat them at the Etihad. We haven't beat them for a long time there. So, yeah.
Yeah, but we have no other option than to win this guy, Dr. Seymour and Craig. There's no other option than to beat them. And again, they have a bit of a disadvantage going into that game, Seymour and Craig. Matt Gay wouldn't be in that game. I mean, they were trying to bend the rules to, of course, City, they try to bend the rules anytime they like. They don't like the laws. They don't like the rules. They don't, they don't respect laws. Countries have laws. Yeah, football bodies have laws. Yeah, they don't respect the law. They just want to. They don't feel they can break the law anytime it suits them because they have a couple of billions out there. But in this one, thank God, there's justice because we want justice. Yeah, so there's justice in this one. Sorry, you're not going to have my gay down there, and that sets it up properly for Arsenal to pile up the pressure. Attack. They don't have that defense to actually, just open up against us. No, not with Kuzanov. I mean, bro, Kuzanov collapsed yesterday. Against Liverpool, bro. Are those the giants that are going to fit? Bro, see, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm just saying that they're going down there with a disadvantage. Gay's not going to be there. So who's going to defend for them properly? Why me? I have my defense, full defense, going there, full, locked in. And my attackers now, Gyökeres is scoring goals. Kai Havertz back into the team. Maybe Bukayo Saka will finally see the light and say, you know what, yeah, Gyökeres, I'll back you up. How about that? Yeah, I'm clocked in. I believe in you now. What we just need is someone to just believe in Gyökeres. And now that Odegaard and Bukayo Saka are out of the team, and they can now see from the stand that the team are now believing in Gyökeres. They will have no other option than to come in and clock in and help out Gyökeres. Now you start seeing those passes. Because if Arsenal is winning without Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, leaving them at the basement, and allowing all these other guys cook and help Gyökeres, they're looking at it and they're saying, you know what, I want to win this trophy and I want my name to be etched in glory in that trophy too. So they would want to be participants in sending passes across the Gyökeres. That's what I think, bro. We're in a big advantage. If we lose any of these things, bro, all my days, bro. Just count it out, bro.
You think we're going to win the treble, though, Tony? You said it like countless times.
I think we'll win the treble.
Yeah.
Still on the treble. I think we'll win a treble.
If I can also ask, you, Craig, and then I guess the rest of the panel as well. Let's say, for example, there's a 6-point maximum gap by the time that we go up to the Etihad on the 18th of April, and they win that match, or even draw for that matter, right?
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because on one hand, right, I certainly agree with everyone. Like, City have not been consistent at all this season. They have not shown a run of games, but we also know that that Pep is. He is very crazy and methodical, and he also is not a manager to go 2 seasons back to back without winning silverware, right? Let's even just disregard the Carabao Cup final just for a second, right? Let's say that we go to the Etihad on the 18th of April. Let's say they're 5 points, rather 5 points, rather behind us. Say they get a draw, 4 points, that would be 5 points, right? Sorry.
It'll be 6 points. If it's a draw, if it's 5 points and we get a point, it'll be 6 points, no?
Well, they would also gain a point too. So so
do you know what, Dr. Seymour? When we're gonna go to Etihad and actually beat them instead of worrying about losing and drawing with these guys?
Exactly. I think we go there and beat them, bro.
I love it.
Go there and beat them. Win the league.
Simultaneously, we know that this manager is very reluctant to let the handbrake off, right?
That's another thing, Tony.
That's a big point.
Pragmatism,
That's a big point.
Of course.
Same as against
all the top 6 teams. Liverpool, pragmatic.
Man
City,
United as well.
You know that when we go there, we're not gonna let the shackles off, man. We're gonna do the let's not lose.
And if there's one thing that I recall, big up to you, Dal.
Big up Oregon, good. The chaps.
If there's one thing that I didn't like from that Manchester United game, was looking at the managers side by side. You know, like we had Arteta doing his, you know, like best air traffic controller, you know, or rather impersonation, and Michael Carrick throughout the entire match was cool as a cucumber, right? You know, like a lot of players, they tend to be a reflection of the manager. You know, if the manager is going crazy on the sidelines, if the manager's not relaxed, then simultaneously that's going to rub off on the players. You know, like I want Arteta to succeed, and I want these players to succeed, but we also need to see a little bit more vigor, a little bit more vitality, like in the work that, you know, like in the work that they do, like coming up ahead. And I wish that we've had a larger point cushion, because at that stage I would be like Cape. I would be saying, yeah, we're gonna fucking win the league, no problem. But the fact of the matter is, we are only effectively 6 points, 2 matches of a cushion when there's like 39 points left to play for. So again, like mathematically speaking, it's still viable. And even just from our behavior, from a psychological perspective, we have still yet to prove that we are able to get over the line. So there are still a lot of questions that this manager and team need to answer. And
this is all we're saying, Tony. This is all we're saying. It's not a overhyping City and everything. It's just that, you know what? Yes, we're there, but still, yeah, we have to look at the cracks in the road, you know, the stumble blocks and all them kind of things there, yeah. Things can happen, yeah, you know, and we just have to yes, we got to go out now 100% and win this league, because I can't see us doing 3 seasons in a row and not winning the league. That'd be horrible. Is this a Man City fan in here? 4-1. See, look at the confidence. 4-1. 2. Oh, the prediction, 2-2. Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Brent.
I mean, that's a City fan. So confident of the team, even if they've not won the title last season. Yeah, and even if his team is still dwindling, you know, with consistency. You know, City, look at the chest. Look at the chest. I mean, I know many Arsenal fans that won't even write that for us, bro. I mean, just the sheer belief. He believes it. He believes it. Yeah, it's true. Let's call it
right there.
It's true. Look at the chest. Look at the chest. 4-1. Look at what's putting for Arsenal. 2-1. And some Arsenal fans were just like, oh, okay, it's okay. I think that will be the result. Really, seriously, bro. Come on, bro. We're not doing that, bro. Of course, the same brought up some certain points in you know, in his monologue just before you left Bant, yeah. But again, yeah, I've been Mikel Arteta's biggest critic. I've been his biggest critic. Craig knows this. Waffledon knows this. Yeah. As it stands, I'm still Arteta out as it stands, unless he wins this trophies for us at the end of the season. Then he can get a new contract to do whatever he wants to do. If he doesn't still win after that, he can go. Yeah. But for this season, he has to win something. But again, while we're still at that, yeah, with the whole manager thing, yeah, because you brought talk about the manager and the players being a reflection of the manager. I completely hear you. But there's been some changes this manager has done this season that we also have to look at it in a more better light. We have to be fair to the situation in terms of putting players' fitness level on the line. This manager has greatly improved. I've seen scenarios where this manager, Craig knows this, Bant knows this, yeah, where I've seen this manager when Thomas Partey is injured, he is thrown Thomas Partey onto the field to continue playing. I've seen this manager, yeah, watch Martinelli get injured live on the pitch and has thrown Martinelli to continue playing. I've seen Bukayo Saka limping in this football club while playing, and the manager kept him on there, say, hey, play till the end. I've seen it 2 seasons ago, a season ago. But this season, he hasn't done that, bro. He's been more careful with the fitness levels of our players this season. Because Saka gets injured during the warm-up, he doesn't get to play. Former actor would say, because Saka, you still have to play this matchup, you're a talisman. You know that. You and me, we know this. He can do that. But he didn't do it. So he has greatly improved in terms of putting our players on the line in terms of their fitness levels. That's number one. Number two, I used to curse out Mikel Arteta about his late timing in substitutions. Craig has been there with me. Of course, Abs have been doing shows with these people. They've said the same thing. Many, many, many times we've done this. Many times. This season, he's changed on that. I used to see Mikel Arteta will make changes in the 91st minute, sometimes 87th minute. That's when this man used to make changes, bro. But, bro, I'm seeing our captain, Martin Odegaard, being hacked off in the 57th minute, 58th minute, 60th minute. These are changes. These are changes. In as much as I want to curse out the manager in that he has not won us trophies and I want him out of the football club, I will be a fair person and say he has also changed in some stuff and it could greatly help us this season. In terms of
Tony,
fitness level,
you think
and in the way he's trying to rotate the team and in the way he's trying to make sure you know that we get this win.
Yeah, but Tony,
manager,
I hear
but
that.
he needs to
I
get
hear
the wins. He needs to get over the line.
Yeah, I hear that as well, but I'm sure with Berta coming in as well, yeah, there's going to be certain pressures on him now. Yeah, you can't be playing foolishness now with Odegaard and his favourites and, you know, just us really being slow and build up in games and stuff like that, because Odegaard has been costing us over, you know, in a few games as well. So he's under a lot of pressure as well. Yeah, I think he's under a lot of pressure. But look at this comment from the Man City guy here. He's already predicted the win. He's already predicted Gabriel gets a red card for dirty fouls. He's predicted the scorers. I never saw this guy 3 months ago. I never saw this guy in the chat 2 months ago. One win against Liverpool, and now he's predicting the season. He's predicting the season. And this is what Tony was saying about the chess. This is what Tony was saying about the chess.
Yes, chess.
Game. This is what I'm saying.
Do you blame him? I don't blame him. It's a fan. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
And I respect his opinion.
You see,
but if they lost, you think you have the same chest? If they lost?
No. Hell no. If they lost yesterday, there's no way I have that same chest. But looking at this, if we could put that in the Arsenal dressing room, I'm sure that would get the confidence they have ready to beat us. I'll put it in the dressing room, so that's a motivation to beat them in the final. So, you know, just to shut him up. Let them have humble pie in it.
See, again, like to that end, though, like the reason why City fans have all this chest is because of their manager. It doesn't matter who they have a manager who has been able and proven to be able to get over the line. You know, they can, you know, like, and that is still a variable in the equation. But
they had the manager when Slot won the league last season. If you're going that route, you know, they believed in the manager, but Slot still won anyway last season.
Well, right, and they still
the most experienced one out of them.
And they still believe. Well, I mean, like, but that being said, though, like at this stage in the season, I don't think City were 6 points behind Liverpool, were they?
They got to a final as well, innit? They got to
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup final.
And FA Cup, innit?
Carabao Cup, they lost against Newcastle. ASAC scored the winner on that.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, so like, you know, they already have, rather, like, Pep has already proven that he is, you know, that he's able to do it. And again, like this, again, I appreciate everyone having chess for our club, right? I want to be on board with that. I want to be able to speak with confidence about this club. And this is why I personally don't give a shit about the journey this season, because the most important thing for me this season is seeing silverware. Once we get over the line, then next year I can enjoy the journey, simply because like we have already begun to address the 20 plus years of not winning the league. The last 6+ years of not winning any trophies. Like, you know, like, I mean, like, they're just, like, you know, like, this manager and this team needs to provide us something tangible for us to believe in.
Yeah, sure.
That's just
I mean, I agree with you, my bro. I agree the cautious side. I agree we have to be cautious. I agree to that, though. But again, the same kind of pressure City is in, it's the same kind of pressure that we're in. The managers, the managers will have a say too. But again, your personnel will also have, will take the bigger hit. There's pressure in this league. There's pressure with the teams we're facing. They know how to set up against top 4 sides. And again, people, any team that's going to be facing relegation-bound teams, have to be up for the pressure too, because they will need to scrap for their lives. City have a bunch of this relegation-bound teams that are going to be scraping for points. They have to go face Leeds. They have to go face all these little teams that will scrapping at the end of it. I mean, see, I mean, I'm not saying it's a given, but they have to go face these teams. And Arsenal, will face these teams too. But again,
who's got the harder running, Tony, in your opinion? Who's got the harder running in terms of games, you think? City or Arsenal?
It's City. They still have to go to Chelsea. They still have Chelsea away from home. They still have Chelsea away from home. They still have that hard game away from home at Ellen Road to go face, and Leeds will be battling, for momentum in their relegation battle. They will still have to face in the final game of the season. They have to go away from home to Villa Park, where we know that, my Emery might be scrapping for a Champions League place. Mostly now that Man United is really running up and raking up this points. It's peak, bro. It's peak, bro, at that top 4. So, I don't think that Emery will just sit down there and allow Man City just pipe him up with goals. I don't think so. He's a very, 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 he's a proud manager, Emery. So I don't think he would just sit back and act like a slot and just allow, Man City run wild and free. I don't think so. He'll be going for it. So it depends. City still have the hardest run into this title race. Arsenal have a more, simpler version, but again, it could still be, there's nothing simple about this league, bro.
Correct. There's nothing.
That's the thing.
Don't take
it. There's nothing simple about the league. Everything is a scrap right now, as we see it. So, again, we don't need to distract ourselves with what City and all these other clowns are doing, because if we go by what happened yesterday, all these clown clubs can help us out. Liverpool, Aston Villa, all these teams, all these clown teams, they can't help us out. We only have to help ourselves. We only have ourselves, bro. Only ourselves can get us out from this mess. It's only us. All these other clown teams and just can't do anything. Tony, look at Liverpool losing at home. So Man City and Liverpool fans are clapping because it doesn't give Arsenal the momentum. Can you imagine the mentality? Keith Thomas and all these Liverpool clowns.
Tony, you remember this though? Tony, do you remember this? You remember this though?
Oh my God, bro.
Look, and if I could also respond really quickly to our brother Jacques Cousteau, I hear it, but simultaneously, we were top of the league for 93% of the season. Big up to you, Molina.
Big up, Molina.
At that point, when you are top of the league for that long across the season, you have to get over the line. Even just the season prior, 24-25. I'm sorry, 23-24 rather. We were top of the league with 2 matches left to play. While on one hand, we can't necessarily expect our team to get over the line when we don't think we have the pieces, but simultaneously, Leicester didn't care. Leicester didn't care if they didn't have all the correct pieces. No one expected them to win it, and that's I think that's part of what I find so frustrating with our fan base sometimes is that we're so easy to make excuses for why we haven't been successful. You know, and hopefully this year will be an inflection point. Hopefully this year will will provide that change. Because I swear, if we don't, I just pack up the club.
Yeah, bro, I'll be mad like you, bro. I mean, I'll be crazy if we don't win this league, bro. It will be one of the most shocking things to ever happen.
I think we might have to go back
and
to
and then I might just totally just wrap up on YouTube. I won't do. I might just give my channel out to someone to just run. I'll leave YouTube. Yeah. Because it's gonna be a disgrace. It's gonna be a disgrace if we don't win this league. I mean, it's one of the most shameful things that would ever happen.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, bro.
Listen, people, let's wrap up, because it's been a long show.
Yeah, man.
1 hour 51 minutes, man. It's been a long one today, man. But listen, we're gonna be back again next Monday, God willing, for another show. Hopefully, it's another 3 points on Thursday. Is it FA Cup this weekend?
Yeah, Wigan.
FA Cup this weekend against Wigan.
Is that a tough game or is that easy game before we wrap up? Is that easy game, yeah?
Physical team, but we should beat them.
Abs, are you waffle done? Are you trolling? I mean, see, waffle done, yeah. You have a reputation of being a troll, bro. Are you trolling now?
Sometimes, bro.
Are you continuing in that tradition of trolling now? Really?
I have to do something. Listen, people,
People, I'm just joking. He's not a troll, bro.
Anyone got anything coming up? I know Craig's got his new channel. Craig Gooner, innit? Craig Gooner 87 or something like that.
Craig Gooner 87.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Hey, he's got a new channel now, Tony. So we need to help him.
Yeah.
What about you, Dr. S? You got anything coming up? I know you do your videos and your streams and stuff. What's going on?
Yeah.
No, man. I've actually been slacking off. I've been slacking on that. I mean, like my attention's been a little bit drawn to what's going on in my professional career work outside of London Colney Renal Center, shall I say? But to that end, I mean,
getting raided now.
Gonna get litty titty committee this week. I can tell you that much. And I'm just looking forward to seeing us one step closer to winning the league, and also one step closer to to an FA Cup final. There should be no reason, there should be no excuses why we aren't doing a double, if not a treble, for that matter.
Yeah.
So right now, the onus is on the manager. The onus is on the players to do the job that they're being paid very handsomely to do.
Yeah.
Hey, score prediction before we go, because we're just getting raided now by the catch-up as well. Just a quick score prediction and we drop off. So, who wants to go first? Brentford game, score prediction. Shout out to the catch-up as well, Big up to Jay.
Shout out to the catch-up for the raid.
And SB as well. Big up to them each and every time. Thank you for the raid. And make sure, guys, you go and subscribe to the channels, people. What's your score prediction, guys, before we drop off?
3-1 Arsenal.
Dr. Samuel, let's start from you.
Yeah, let's start with.
Really want to start with me? Shit. I mean,
man. Big up Master Blue in the building.
I don't know, man. Look, Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews is low key, a nominee for manager of the year. He has been doing solid work with Brentford. Even after they've lost players and even after Frank had left as well. I mean, they're a decent side. With that being said, we should be getting past teams like this, right? Home or away. Shouldn't be an issue. The two variables are always going to be how we are going to set up, as well as whether or not we're really up for it. If we are up for it, and and Arteta continues making relatively the right decisions. Personally, I didn't want Jesus starting last match against Sunderland.
Yeah, same, man.
I would have preferred Gyökeres starting, but we did find their look. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping for a 3-1 win, but there is always something lingering deep down inside me that we can slip up on a little banana peel, and it can end up being a draw. So I'm hoping for a win, but I can't say that I have full confidence as of yet.
Yeah.
What about you, Craig? What's your score prediction?
I'm at that game on Thursday.
Oh yeah, where's my ticket then?
I'm working.
you're at that game.
I'm working.
Do you know someone offered me a ticket? The show I'm going to be going on next. I think they might be able to get me a ticket, so I might go to that game as well.
Like how much?
I don't know yet. I have to ask him. But do you know what? You know the funny thing is, I've got people that work there. My friend used to play for Brentford, so I should ask him to get a free. I should get him some freeness.
Go to that game, man. It's right around the corner from your house.
I know. Hey, don't expose where I live, bro.
I didn't expose me.
I
didn't see your address and postcode, did I?
Yeah, no. This man's selling locations and everything, man. What's your score prediction?
3-1 Arsenal. Brentford.
What about you, Big T? What are you saying? 7-0?
I think we'll win 2-1. I think it's going to be a very, very scrappy game. It's going to be a scrappy game. And it's going to be a very physical game, bro, because there are physical beasts in that team. It's going to be like that Newcastle game. They can scrap. I mean, look at what happened to Aston Villa. One man down, and yet they scrapped to the end, to the very end. People, till the end. I mean, that's the show for you and Craig, isn't it? Till the end. They do this kind of thing till the end. So it's what it is. But again, I reckon we'll win 2-1 because by then we would have been pressured to see Man City chop off the lead probably against Fulham. We don't know how that game would go, but presumably you have to assume the worst, that City might win that game. And again, it's a home game, so definitely they can beat Fulham at home. Definitely, you reckon? So Arsenal will be pressured to win that game. I think under pressure, we've shown that we can win games. Under pressure, we've gone to St. James Park and beat them. Took the whole 3 points away in St. James Park. We've gone to the Vitality Stadium. We've beaten Bournemouth 3-2. High-pressured matches, those two, and we had to scrap. And we won them. We can scrap at Brentford Community Stadium, and we can win. I think 2-1.
I hear it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a confident 2-0 win. I think the game, as you said, is going to be a lot of set pieces, throw-ons, because both teams, play rugby. So at times, so it's going to be England versus Ireland, Twickenham style type of game, physical. But you know what? I think we got enough to get over the line in that game. So yeah, I'm hoping we cruise over there like 2-0. But people, big up to the catch up, SB and man like Catch. Big up to you for raiding us, but we're gonna jump off, man. We've been here for like 2 hours now. Play back the ting, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You already know me, you already see me. Lenny Henry, they call me on his channel, that Ford Jordan. Yeah, I know his name as well. But big up everyone in the building. Big up to my co-host, man like Tony Claude. Big up to Craig.
Big up
to Dr. Seymour each and every time. Yeah, this is what you call loyalty. This is what you call blood. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Big up to Dr. Seymour. Thank you.
Yeah, big up to everyone, man. But listen, people, we're gonna get out of here because I'm hungry, man. And Tony, I need some food, brother. What are you cooking? What are you cooking for me, man?
I got some rice here, my bro. Jollof rice. Nigerian jollof rice, my bro. I got it here.
Have you got some stew with it, though?
I'm gonna go munch on some Nigerian jollof rice, bro. And I got
at 11 o'clock in the night. 11 o'clock in the night, you eating jollof rice,
bro? I have to munch on something, but I've not eaten since today.
Oh,
I've not eaten since morning at all. Wow. Nothing. So I'm just gonna munch on it just a little bit. Just a little bit while I cook it, just something. Or I might just scrap that and just take yogurt and just sleep off.
Bun that, man. That's boring, man. Jollof. Anyway, people, yeah, we're out of here, man. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, peace, people. Peace.